Well, did you know India's female consumer base is twice the number of the total population of the US? Well, India is home to 670 million women, and their influence on the economy is unmissable, but underestimated. A whopping 75% of women say they make the purchasing decisions for their households through buying power and influence, according to Nielsen. In recent years, it's come to hold true for the digital economy as well, and gone are the days when online was dominated by the three M's: metros, moneyed, and men. In fact, half of India's 750 million active internet users are women, as per a Kantar report, and half of the 150 million new online shoppers added since the pandemic are women, as found by BCG. It doesn't need any reiteration, but let me underline it for you. It is women who are driving India's digital discovery, and the categories catching their fancy are no longer restricted to beauty and fashion. That's passé. From casual participation to fierce streamers, women are now a big part of India's gaming arena. About 230 million women in India are active gamers. That's over 40% of all gamers in the country, as noted by Lumikai in its report. This new breed of women are driven by independence and catering to their demands. The travel industry is building offerings around women and solo travel. Financial services are also being built specifically to help women save wisely, build emergency funds, and even plan for early retirement. Hello and welcome to Young Turks, India's longest-running show on startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Shereen Bhan. New frontiers of India's female economy are opening up, and to help us decipher the phenomena, joining me on the program, three women who are on the front lines of this new revolution: Salone Sehgal, the founding general partner at Lumikai; Hena, Mehta, the co-founder and CEO at Basis; and Rashmi, Chadha, the founder and CEO at Wovoyage Travel. Ladies, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC-TV18 on Young Turks. Salone, let me start by asking you about this absolute phenomena that we're seeing as far as the gaming market is concerned. And this is certainly not something that I was expecting. In fact, I was having a conversation with Harsha Kumar at Lightspeed, and she was talking about the rise of female gamers in India. And that's what the Lumikai report highlights as well. 2 in 3 households in India have women using smartphones as of 2022, and 77% of female gamers in India spend an average of 53 minutes per day on gaming, as per the Gaming Federation. Let's start by talking to you about what this is really, this surge that we've seen of women participating in the online gaming economy, Salone.
Yeah, I mean, Shereen, this stat shouldn't surprise us, because globally, 60% of casual gamers are actually women. So I would say that India is actually falling a little bit behind the global average, because when we undertake the research that we did, and we had knowledge partners like Google and consulting partners like Deloitte, and we also conducted both primary and secondary research. And through that, we unraveled that 40% of women in India, or 40% of gamers in India are actually women. So it completely breaks the myth of gaming being a male bastion. And this corresponds with the rise of casual gaming and mobile gaming particularly, because you no longer need very expensive hardware to actually undertake and experience games.
Yeah.
Now it's very accessible, it's very affordable, and it's on the palms of your hand, and it's deeply personalized. And that is essentially the demographic expansion which has unlocked mobile gaming in India.
Well, that certainly is something that, is an interesting statistic to look at. But Salone, let's talk about whether we are now starting to see a customization of the gaming economy to cater to women, both in terms of the content that's being put out, the creators that are participating in the economy. What's the trend that you're seeing there?
I think that is a little bit of a lagging indicator, I would say, at the moment, and I think this is a phenomena of the broader tech industry in general, not just in India, but in the world, right? Female representation in tech has typically been low. And when you have, less than 50% of product and app makers looking less and less like the audiences they're building for, I believe this is a very untapped and underserved market. However, at Lumikai, we have also undertaken initiatives like Lumikai Pathbreakers, because there's a very, often adage which says, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And the whole idea behind it was to create role models, whether it's female entrepreneurs or game developers or designers or programmers, to
Yeah.
hence be able to showcase a path towards encouraging more people and more diverse builders in the industry to then be able to cater to these audiences. But that being said, we've seen now a number of esports players who are women. We're seeing an increasing amount of game streamers who are women, and that in itself is unlocking representation and role models in a way that I'd say previously, 2, 3 years back, wasn't really there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of what wasn't there and the gaps that we continue to see as far as the female economy is concerned, let's address the issue of financial services. In fact, 49% women are either not investing or are not aware of their investments. Overall, 29% of women are not investing their money, and this number is as high as 34% in the 21 to 25 age group. So, Hena, let's address this issue and what you've attempted to do with bases and where you believe the needle has moved in the last few years.
Yes, and thanks for sharing some of those stats, Shereen. I believe the true numbers are actually much worse than that. Why we started Basis was exactly, just drawing on some of Salone's point as well, right? Women as consumers are a growing market, large market already, ridiculously underserved, right? And within financial services itself, the industry has been designed for men, not because of any other reason other than men have historically been the owners of wealth, and that was the target audience. Even today, with some of the newer age consumer fintech apps as well, the user bases are anywhere between 90 to 95% male, right? Which is a huge problem. And arguably, women need personal finance, financial planning, investment planning, etc., more than men do because of the way our lives play out, whether it's longevity, which means we have to plan for longer retirements and we'll probably outlive our male peers, or higher healthcare costs, or different sort of income patterns. And so we can't look at women as a marketing problem, which has sort of been the approach so far. We're getting into March next month, and it's almost seen like there's Women's History Month. Let's pink wash financial services, and that should get more invest. So I think it has to be, women have to be looked at.
No, I completely agree with you, Hena. I mean, absolutely, and we cannot resort to this tokenism that comes with Women's Day every March. This has to be something that we address on a daily basis across different sectors in different ways, personalized solutions that address the female economy. Hena, just more statistics for the benefit of our viewers, and this is of course data that's fairly backdated because we haven't had a census since 2011. 71.4 million single women, a number that's larger than the entire population of Britain or France. India has the largest population of single women across the globe today, Hena. How are you addressing this constituency in a meaningful way with the products and services that you're offering?
Absolutely. So I think that is a staggering number, right? India does have its largest number of single women in our history, and like you said, largest number of single women in any country in the world. And I think these are all indicators that women are looking for independence in different ways, right? Not just jumping into marriage if they don't want to, leaving marriages if they're not happy because they know they can be financially independent. So I think all of these are very, very strong indicators. In the data we saw, being your marital status was actually insignificant in how women were looking at their money, right? Women tended to want privacy, autonomy, control over their money. And I think these are just indicators telling us that this market is growing and there's going to be a larger need to focus on them with curated solutions, to your point. But yes, we saw marital status being insignificant in how women tended to view their finances and long-term financial planning.
Oh, absolutely. In every aspect, including, finances, women should enjoy agency, autonomy, and independence. And, that really needs to be driven home. That message needs to be driven home. But Rashmi, speaking about the economy for women and specifically catering to women opening up, let's talk about what's happening on the travel side. And again, staggering rise that we've seen. If you just take a look at the data, between 2011 and 2024, the Google searches for solo female travel have grown by more than 11 times. Almost 80% women are choosing to travel solo without any dependence on their families, spouses, or even friends. In fact, 35 to 40% growth in demand for women travelers versus single digits in 2013 as per Thomas Cook. So that's what you're hoping to cater to, Rashmi.
Yeah, solo traveling is going beyond like we have shared some numbers, right? 71% of single women and happy women who wants to go out and explore the world. And then a lot of women, like if you see the data, like women start earning, changing from the last, 30 years. So what happened? They want to spend on their leisure activities also, which includes traveling. And a lot of in the market, if you see, a lot of women travel companies also, came up, who are making and giving solutions to these women. Even if you see big hotel chains, like they also are keeping special, segments catering for women, who wants to stay at these properties in offbeat locations. So women travel is picking up, especially solo. So they are not dependent on the family, because earlier it was like, when their husbands are ready or their parents are ready, then only women can go out. Now women, even if solo, they can look for women groups they want to join in, and they start exploring. We are waiting, more like movies like Zindagi Na Mile Dobara on women, going out and giving more inspiration.
Yes.